Hey there, Hofstra fans. Welcome to this week's edition of the W.B. Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Mike Sullivan, joined as always by head coach of the Hofstra Women's Lacrosse Program, Shannon Smith. Coach, how are you today?
Doing well, Mike. How are you?
Pretty good, Coach. Coming off a weekend, you defeat Old Dominion in your CA opener, 15-6, and then you fall to William & Mary, 12-11 in overtime. You come back in the second half to send that one to an extra session. What were your thoughts on your team's performance in your opening weekend in conference play?
I thought we played well against ODU, and then we got to William & Mary. It's very disappointing. I was very disappointed on the way the team came out right from the beginning. We had an extremely slow start, and then when we decided we wanted to play, we did well. Unfortunately, it was too late by then, and we already made a lot of turnovers that cost us, and they scored goals off of that. They capitalized when they needed to, and we didn't. And we have to be tougher, we got to be mentally tough, and we got to work a lot harder. And we have to realize that you just don't get a win by showing up and stepping on the field. You actually have to play for it.
This weekend you're without one of your key contributors, Jill Mayer. You obviously go 1-1. What do you think you missed without her presence on the field? She had a huge on the draw control and offensive contributor as well. And do you think she would have affected the William & Mary game at all?
Yeah, Jill would have definitely helped us. It would have been great to have Jill, but we didn't, and we need other people to step up. And we miss Jill's leadership and just her calm presence that she brings to the field. She does a great job on the draw controls, like you said. And she comes up with usually some great plays on the defensive end for us. And she's always good for 1 or 2 goals. So we definitely miss her leadership and her calming presence. But at the end of the day, other people need to step up, and we need that to happen.
Becky Conto, 9 draw controls Friday. That's a season high individually. She has 7 against William & Mary. What do you think from her play?
Yeah, Becky did great on the draw control for us. I think the rest of our team needs to help Becky a lot more and definitely box out for her and allow her to even get more draw control. So, there's a lot that we need to work on for this week, and we got to get tougher.
It seems like when you guys are having success, especially offensively, you're getting some secondary scoring. Taylor Albright has a good weekend. Casey Kellogg gets a couple of goals. Would you agree with that statement that the secondary scoring is huge for your team, and when you're clicking, you're getting a lot of production?
Yeah, it's huge to have everybody being an offensive threat, and when we can get a lot of different scores, it's great, and it makes it harder for a team to cover us, and they don't know how to cover us because anybody can score, and we need everyone to be threats like that all the time. And unfortunately against William & Mary, we had too many turnovers and a slow start that didn't help us.
Against ODU, at one point it's 4-3. You then score 11 of the final 14 goals of the game. What changed that allowed you really to pull away from the Lady Monarchs?
Yeah, I think against ODU we played with a lot of confidence in the second half. We let our nerves and our jitters get out of us in the first half of being our first conference game, and I thought we dodged extremely hard, and everybody was moving off ball, and the people that scored, it was because their other 6 teammates were doing a great job at moving off ball and keeping their defenders occupied.
William & Mary, the struggles of the first half. You come back in the second half. Did you like what you saw from your team and your ability to come back?
Yeah, it shows some fight in us. The girls played with a little bit of heart there in the second half. But it's just very disappointing that we can't string those 2 games in one weekend together, and we can't, play a full 60 minutes out there. But we have to get more mentally tough, and we have to work harder, and we have to want it more. William & Mary wanted it more than us, than what Hofstra did on Sunday.
Similar situation upcoming this week. 2 games Friday and Sunday, but they're both at home. Starting off with James Madison on Friday. They knocked the Pride out of the CA tournament last year. The Dukes, a program that always seems to give Hofstra some trouble. Is there any added energy in practice this week, knowing you have that JMU game coming up, first home game of conference play, with the memories of how your season ended last year?
Yeah, I don't think right now we have to focus on ourselves, and we can't worry about who we're playing on Friday. We have to worry about ourselves and fix what's going on with us, so we're ready to go right from the start of the whistle and correct the mistakes that we made this weekend. So we definitely have to focus a lot on ourselves before we can worry about any other team.
Casey and Carol, one of the best players in the conference, 35 goals, and it's a little bit down the road this week, but defensively, how do you prepare for a player like her, and also a strong offense for JMU overall? Yeah,
Casey's a great player, and she's hard to maintain, and we're going to have to play a great team defense and be prepared for it. And JMU as a whole has a lot of great threats on the attacking end, so we're just going to have to be very disciplined, very competitive, and stick to our defensive game plan.
This is a team as well that coming off a loss to 1,000, but they've been ranked in the top 20 for a few weeks. Entering this week, How important and how big of a game is it Friday to start off your weekend strong and really finish it off Sunday against Mason with a couple victories?
It'd be huge, huge for us to get a victory on Friday, and we're not going to get that unless we work hard, this week, and that's what our main focus is right now. Is we got to get that better day by day before we can think about, what's going to be taking place on Friday.
1-1 in the Colonial entering this week. What's it going to take for Sunday evening to be 3-1 in the conference?
Draw controls and ground balls and just outworking the other team.
Again, the Hofstra Pride women's lacrosse team, 2 games this week, Friday against James Madison and Sunday against George Mason, both at home. For head coach Shannon Smith, I'm Mike Sullivan. Thanks for tuning in to the WB Mason Coaches Report.